Hey guys, how you doing? It's Andy Elliott. Okay, so this is going to be day one of starting our training together. And I'm going to go over some objections with you. I'm going to try to keep these videos short so they're not too long. Something you can maybe watch on the way to work or something that, you can watch on your lunch break. It doesn't matter to me. But I want you to plug in every day to the training, and I want you to advance yourself and add something to your skill set every day. Today, before we go into training, I want to talk about something. And I'm a big Tony Robbins guy. I'm a big mindset guy. If you're not watching your mindset in life and you're not controlling your own mind, then someone else is. And Tony Robbins always talks about control your mind, control your mind. And your mindset's everything. Listen, if I choose to be in a beautiful state and if I feel blessed, then whatever it is that I do, I'm gonna do great. I'm going to be in a great mood. And us as salespeople, just as people in life, mindset is the biggest thing. Mindset actually is more important than skill. I want to start today. I'm going to give everybody a chance here to see something that helped me a bunch. Now, I'm not saying that you got to do this every day, but I watched this video a long time ago. There was this Tony Robbins seminar, and he talks about the lion attitude, the attitude of the lion, of the man, of the woman, of the person that's going to conquer something. And there was this video that he put online. It's about a 2-minute clip. Now, I watched the whole seminar, but there's a 2-minute clip. I want you to go here when this video is over, and I want you to watch this. You may laugh, but there's nothing to laugh about. Your mindset is everything. And if you don't take it serious, you're not going to make it. You're not going to have the best life you want in a fulfilled life if your mindset isn't right. So, what I want is go to YouTube, type in Tony Robbins, and type in The Roar, R-O-A-R. Tony Robbins, The Roar. It's a 2-minute video, and you're going to love it. You're never going to forget it. I never forgot it. But what I want right now is I want mindset. In order to get into that mindset, I want you to get out of the mind that you're currently in, and I want you to try something. There's some of you right now that won't do it. I'll say it, you won't have the balls to do it. You want to change your life? I'm not talking about extreme action. I'm talking about this. Tony Robbins was talking to this guy, and he said, you want to get your mindset right? You want to change? He goes, let me hear your roar. And this guy's in a conference with 2,500 people, and he's sitting there with his wife of 13 years, and they're having a rough marriage. Well, guess what? This guy lets out this roar, man. And it said basically, let the man out, heal the boy, get out. Change your mindset. So I'm going to do a roar for you guys. And here's what I want. After I do mine, on Friday's video, the best roar that comes out for the week, I want you to email it to me. Email me your best roar. I want to hear it. I want you to let it out. Let it all out. Don't sound like a baby cat. Give me the best roar you got. Email it to me on Friday's video. We're going to play it. The very best one. Okay? So I'm going to give you mine. Roar! Man, that feels good. You may think I'm crazy. You may think this is silly. It's not. It's the way that you get your day started. It's the way you feel about life. And you have to be willing to do some silly stuff, man. A lot of you guys are sitting there dead quiet. Like I said, I see a lot of bodies walking around dead. They're no different than living in a coffin. Live your life a little bit. Pause the video, stand up, give it to me. Later on, record it and email it, okay? I'm going to erase this. Today, we're going to talk about price objections, okay? So, Tony Robbins, The Roar on YouTube. Got to listen to it. Mindset's everything. If you're not a mindset person, I promise you're not a high achiever. Okay? Anybody that's a high achiever has an unbelievable mindset. So, price. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to talk about price objections on the lot. I'm going to talk about price objections inside in the office during negotiations. Okay? So I want you to take this in that, yes, I'm going to go through training outside. Guy says, hey, what's your best price on this or what's your price? I'm going to go over all that with you. Today, our quick training is going to be on price. And I promise you, when I say this, Whatever skill set you have now, you add this to it, it's lights out. I hope this really helps. So we're going to start out with like a pencil, a manager proposal, right? Customers inside, they found a vehicle they like. Salesman wrote up the deal, brought it to the manager. The manager writes down, I'm not sure how they pencil in your dealership, a price of $18,900, and let's say the payment's $399 a month, and that's it, okay? So listen, everybody pencils different. Just take this for what it is. There's a price on the piece of paper, and there's a payment. Rule number one, when somebody says the price is too high, the first thing that I do is I always make sure what they don't mean is that, hey, if the price were to come down, the payment would go down with it. So I'm actually not dealing with the price close. I'm truly dealing with actually a payment close, okay? So what I want to do is, and if you've watched a lot of my old videos that I put out, I go over lots of different payment closes, and I've got 100 more I'm going to teach you. But the deal is that this guy may be a price person to start out with, but I may need to switch him to payments because at the end of the day, he's financed his last 10 cars. He hasn't wrote a check for one of them, right? So is he really a price buyer? I don't know. Let's find out. So listen, Mrs. Customer, $18,900, $399 a month, sign here. Let me get your new car cleaned up for you. Andy, that price is way too high. Andy, the price is too high. I think the price is too high. Guess what? I understand, Mr. Customer. You always say that. I understand, Mr. Customer. And I always cover the price. Other than the price, are you okay with the $399 payment? And if he says, well, actually the payment's too high too, then I say, I understand. Let me show you how affordable your new vehicle is. I flip the paper over. I go into my payment close. Price is never brought up again. It wasn't a price objection. It was a smoke screen for a price objection. It's a customer that's concerned about payments, but they're not the best negotiator. They don't want to come out to you and say, well, I think the payment's too high. They started with the price is too high. So you have to take them that way. Sorry, the roar kind of got my voice a little bit. So check this out. That would be number one, okay? But if the customer said, no, Andy, I'm fine with the $399 payment, or payment doesn't matter, I still think the price is too high. Okay, now I've got a real price objection here. So I need to decide, is this guy probing for a better deal? Or does he have a true reason why he believes that the price is too high? Well, it's your job to find out. So, $18,900, $399, sign here. Hey, Andy, I think the price is too high. I understand. Other than the price, are you okay with the payment? Yes, I'm fine with the payment, or the payment doesn't matter. I still think the price is too high. Okay, watch this. When you say the price is too high, Mr. Customer, would you mind being more specific why you believe the price is too high? And be quiet. It's hot potato. I understand, Mr. Customer. First thing we always say, when you say the price is too high, would you mind being more specific why you believe it's too high? He now has, when I threw the hot potato back, I didn't start saying, well, Kelley Blue Book is this, NADA is this, our internet price is our best deal, this is where we've got it, it's way undervalued. You don't need to go into that. If you don't understand what their motive is, why they said the price is too high, do you really have anything to overcome yet? No, you're going to just start throwing out a bunch of crap, and you're going to sound like that unprofessional salesman across the street who isn't good with dealing with money. So, when you say the price is too high, would you mind being a little more specific why you believe it's too high? The customer pauses for a minute, okay? He's probing for a better deal. If somebody saw a car down the street at ABC Motors that was $1,000 less, watch this. Hey, well, I saw a car down at ABC Motors, it was $1,000 less, okay? So that's why I think it's too high. Oh, there's a motive for you. We're going to overcome that next. This one, there's no motive. The customer's probing for a better deal. The last 3 times that he went into a dealership to buy a car, the salesman basically wiggled around in his seat, wasn't prepared to overcome objections like the customer was prepared to object, and guess what? They failed. The customer negotiated, and the salesman came down, and he had no real motive of why the price was too high because the salesman wasn't good at handling it. So watch this. I understand, Mr. Customer. I apologize. And you always play the empathy road, okay? So watch this. I'm sitting down. I'm knee to knee. When you say it's too high, would you mind being more specific? He pauses. You know what, guys? This is completely my fault. I completely apologize. I didn't explain our pricing policy up front. You see, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, we've learned that 90% of our customers want to get the best price up front. And then the other 10% still want to negotiate and haggle. Unfortunately, we find it disrespectful and untrustworthy. You see, we're looking for a further relationship than just today. See, I don't want to sell you the car you buy today. I want to sell you every car you buy for the rest of your life. And we've learned that if we've marked the car up $3,000, and then when you start negotiating, bring it down $3,000, were we really trustworthy? No. So we found that 90% of our customers want to get the best price up front. Unfortunately, I didn't explain that pricing policy to you up front, and I apologize. Mr. and Mrs. Customer, have I offended you in any way? In any way by giving you my best price up front? Have I offended you in any way? No, thank goodness. Guys, thank you so much for your business. Guys, if you'll sign right here, I'll get your new car cleaned up for you. Thank you so much. Guess what? Hey, I'm going to tell you this. Did he tell you when you say, would you mind being a little more specific why you think the price is too high? Did he give you any reason? No, he doesn't have one. He's probing for a better deal. Hand that back to him. Have I offended you and your family in any way by giving you my best price up front? No, thank goodness. Thank you so much, guys. Guys, sign here. I'm going to get your new car cleaned up. I'm going to tell you, for the people that are probing for a better deal on price, I take 7 out of 10 of them down. You memorize that word track and play this video 10 times over. And that little word track, I apologize, this is completely my fault. I didn't explain our pricing policy to you up front. You memorize that on your heart, and guess what? You hand that right back to them and you close. Now, if they want to give you another reason why they think it's too high after that, overcome it, okay? But he didn't, and most people won't. They're just going to reply back, well, I just think the price is too high. Guess what? You hand them that and you're going to close 7 out of 10, I promise you. Now, we're going to go to the third part of the price here, okay? And the third part would be the customer has a real motive. He saw a car cheaper down the street at ABC Motors. So what I'll do is I'll say, would you mind being more specific why you think the price is too high? He'll say, yeah, Andy, I saw one at ABC Motors for $1,000 less. Okay, we stop for a minute, okay? Now in the seated position, everything is written, and I'm going to go to writing. But I want you to understand this. You would go through apples to apples. Was it the same car line package? Was it the same year? What was the mileage? I know who he saw that car at, so I know how reputable that dealer is. I gather some information. You have to go back into fact find at that time for a second before you can make your presentation and go for the close. I'm going to show you how to do it, but you got to ask some questions, because if they're two completely different packages, maybe it was a value issue. When people want something more than they want the money that they have in their pocket, they'll spend it. And maybe you didn't build enough value in it, okay? But if you did build enough value and you did a great job and there's a car $1,000 cheaper down the street, then it's real simple, okay? This is where I want you to go. I understand, Mr. Customer. Are you familiar with the difference between the purchase price and the ownership price of the vehicle? Stop. Are you familiar with the difference between the purchase price of the vehicle and the ownership price of the vehicle? Let me show you something. Watch. Your store, flip over the back sheet of the paper, flip it over. Your store, ABC Motors, goes there. You're going to make your presentation pretty easy. All right, so our store, we have this car at $18,900. Over here at ABC Motors, you're telling me it's the same car and it's for $17,900. So this is an opportunity for you to sell your dealership, okay? And great salesmen always sell their dealership, but this is the time to sell it more than ever. So the store I'm currently training, one of them, they have a 127-point service inspection. So I don't know who you are, but this would be my point. Listen, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, we do 127-point service inspections on our cars. So what that means is we're high in all the critical areas that are important to you and your family, okay? When that car comes in, we inspect it thoroughly. We go all the way through it. Unlike a lot of small stores like ABC Motors, okay, and stores like that, where they do like 10 to 20-point service inspections. You see, they're just getting the car through, changing the oil and pushing it out. Because see, we're a big store. We like to service these cars and make them new, right? Even though they're pre-owned, they're new to you. So that when you drive out of here, and if you have a new car that you're really selling, I'm going to show you how to handle that. But on just pre-owned stuff, you're going to say, we service them to be, even though they're pre-owned, new to you and your family. Okay? We service a car so it can stay at our dealership until it sells. Listen, if I make this car perfect, this car is perfect that you're buying. Guess what? 4 months from now, if it sells, do I care the time frame it took to sell? No, it's a perfect car. Over here, though, at ABC Motors, a lot of these people have these small service inspections. You know why? Because if they don't sell the car within 30 to 45 days, they have to take it back to the auction. Okay? Now, they can afford to be the cheapest in cost, the cheapest in price, right? And put it out on the market so you see their great price. But they don't service the car to be like new for your family. You know why? Because if it doesn't sell in 30 to 45 days, they're taking it back to the auction and then they're selling it. You see, so they're not high in all the critical areas that are going to be important to you and your family. They just care about not losing the money that they spend in reconditioning at the auction when they take it back. So who is their real concern? You or their money? You see, we care about your money. Further relationships than just today start here. Also, we do everything, and I always say the eyes can see, right? And can't see. So what that means is that, sure, when the two cars are sitting next to each other and they got tire shine on them and they're all cleaned up, they look the same. They're not. Okay? When you're going through a vehicle and you're making it new for someone's family, you go through and do things under the hood that you can't see. Those things are expenses that we pay. Why do we pay them? So you don't have to pay them down the road. They're not doing that over here. That's how they can afford to be lower in cost. But I will tell you this, great business doesn't work that way. You can't be the best in business and be the cheapest in price. It doesn't work that way. If the cheapest in price works that way, it means that you get the best purchase price today, but down the road, the ownership price is actually a lot higher. So basically, you explain yours, you explain theirs. It's a Benjamin Franklin clause. You show the differences. You make sure that you have good, valid points, and you understand what your dealership has that no one else has, okay? You find those niches, and then you sell them here. And like I said, you make your cars, you always explain you make your cars perfect, and their cars over here, if they don't sell them quick, they're going back to the auction. They're not going to lose their reconditioning bill. You know what that means? That means they can spend $200 in service, and if it goes to the auction and does the same amount of money what they bought it for, they lost $200. In our service station, we may spend $1,500. But guess what? That $1,500, what other dealers won't spend, you didn't have to spend it later. So with that being said, if I take the 18.9 and you drive this car over the next 3 years and there's zero money spent other than normal oil changes and stuff like that because it was serviced so well since you bought it, the purchase price of my car would be 18.9 and zero money spent. The ownership price, what it really costs to own, would be 18.9. Now over here at ABC Motors, they basically put the cheapest, lowest cost car out there, didn't recondition it to be like new for you and your family. Guess what? $2,000 over the next 3 years out of your pocket, plus time and inconvenience in a service station. I'm not the best at math, but if I take 17.9 plus $2,000, that's 19.9. You see, if money's your real concern, wouldn't you agree that the total amount of money really spent out of your pocket is the real money spent? Yes. So when you look at the purchase price, you're right, they are $1,000 less. I agree. But when you look at the ownership price of the vehicle, ours is going to be $1,000 less in the end, minimum. And guess what? They may be the lowest in price, but they're never going to be the lowest in cost. And if your money's your real concern, that's where we're at. So Mr. and Mrs. Customer, at $3.99 a month, let me get your new car cleaned up here. Thank you guys so much for your business. I appreciate you. And guess what? Now you're dealing with money instead of doing this. Oh, 18.9. Oh, they got it $1,000 cheaper down the street. Are you sure it's the same car? We go through that. I get you that. And then we go 17.9 and we get a commitment and take it back to your manager. Guys, don't negotiate down. Hold firm in your value. Do you think people want something that's cheap? No. They want something of value. But it's salesman's job to give the customer reasons and excuses why they should pay that money. No. So when somebody says the price is too high, whose job is it to go and defend the pencil and bring that money back to the desk and bring it back to your family? It's you. And as your competition's asleep at the wheel, You're going to crush them with this. So, this is the price is too high. Inside negotiating. I hope this helped a bunch. Remember, there's 3 steps. I want you to watch the video a bunch of times. Learn the word tracks, guys. I'm going to start teaching a bunch of word tracks, but I'm giving you the word tracks now. Rewind it, get a notebook. They say 30% of what you don't write down is retained. If you write down what you listen, so replay this video, get a notebook, get a pen, and write down 90% after 30 days you'll retain. Imagine that. You got a buddy sitting next to you right now, right? And he's like, oh yeah, that's good stuff. Oh, okay, I'm going to try that. And he doesn't write nothing down. He ain't trying nothing. He's going to try on the same old life forever. Change your mindset. I wanted to start there because as we're training and growing and learning, mindset's everything. And then 2, when someone says the price is too high inside negotiating, I want you to write this down and play this video over and over and over until you memorize these word tracks. And when you do, you will be closing customers at the highest rate ever seen. Better than your managers in your store. And somebody can say bullcrap to that, but I'll tell you this. Send me what you got now. I've got a lot more closes inside. This is the basic principle that I use forever. This is what I've taught people. And guess what? When they go down, they close them up and they love it. Learn the word tracks though. Your words are either taking you forward or they're taking you backwards, okay? You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to learn the word tracks. You've got to build the skill set. Going back to the beginning now, guys. I'm going to keep putting these videos out, and I'm going to put out just a ton of content of closes, word tracks, negotiating, man, anything that I can think of, okay, that you guys will love. I want 2 things. 1, I want the roar. I want to hear it. Send it to me. Lose your voice, please. Send it to theelliottgroupnow.com. Friday, I'm going to play the best roar that we've had that's come in on the email. And I'm telling you, rock it out, okay? I want a video of it. Don't send me the little clip recording, okay? I want the video. Go turn your phone on, flip it around, hit record, give me 5 seconds. Let it out. You'll feel so great about yourself. Am I asking you to do it every day? Do it once in a year, I don't care. Just decide today that you're going to start changing your mindset and give me that roar. The Elliott, ELLIOTT, groupnow@gmail.com. And then number 2, I want you guys to practice these skill sets and get them down and send me an email there as well if you're having trouble learning or something, and then I'll go through it and personally make sure that you get it. Guys, great seeing you today. Hope this helps. Have a wonderful day.